Yeah, I thought I played a lot better than I did in the previous match, so that was great, and I felt way more comfortable. It was nice to be on grandstand, and yeah, it was tough kind of playing against Holger. You know, he can come out and play very aggressive and can come forward very well. He's extremely talented, and he's a young up and coming player, but it was nice to get thrown straight.
Great. Name and affiliation, please.
I can Rockmore from the Sun. During the match, Holger went to the umpiring, was unhappy with your ball toss, if you like, the fact you'd throw the ball in the air and then catch it before the first serve. Were you doing that on purpose to unsettle him? What was the reason?
No, I was not doing it on purpose, and yeah, I think it's even better for him. You know, I'm struggling with the ball toss a couple times, and I think I didn't hear what he said, but I think it was the fact that if I throw the ball toss up, the ref was maybe stopping the clock, the time clock. So I don't know. Yeah, I think it can be annoying to return, but it wasn't too bad. You know, it was a couple of times, and I'll say even better for him. You know, yeah, I was not doing it on purpose.
Okay.
Simon Briggs, Daily Telegraph. I mean, did you notice him whinging about it, and were you at all? Were you just in your own bubble?
I think it was just the once. He said something once, and he didn't, and yeah, it was no more. So I wasn't too worried, and it was a couple of times I did it, but yeah, no biggie.
Eleanor.
Hi, Eleanor Crook, Press Association. I mean, it does seem maybe, I'm not saying you were doing it deliberately at all, but it's a slight loophole, isn't it? That if you throw the ball up and then recatch your toss, you can then have as much time as you like, essentially, to reset.
Yeah, I think sometimes it depends. Sometimes it's different, you know. Sometimes I see the clock still rolling. Sometimes they stop it. I play pretty quick in between points anyway, so I still have a lot of time left regardless. So I'm not doing it on purpose, you know. I would love to go out there and have a perfect ball toss every time and get up there and hit rockets. So it can happen sometimes, and yeah, I don't think it was. I'd rather play quick, you know. I like to play quick, and yeah, I wasn't doing it on purpose.
Surface Times. This used to be the sort of stage of a Grand Slam tournament, which was maybe seen as a hurdle for you. Like, having sort of broke through it at Wimbledon, did you feel yourself sort of being more calmer and more confident in the court today? Yeah,
for sure. You know, especially ticking that box to make this the second week for the first time, that was huge for me, and it was a big goal of mine to play well at slams and play deep in slams and to have these matchups. And I think it does help, you know, going into the tournament, being ranked where I am, being seeded where I am. Obviously, Wimbledon didn't get the points there, so maybe I could have been a higher seed anyway. But no, I think it's great, you know. And coming into these matches, I don't think I played great in my first couple rounds, and I was able to feel a lot more relaxed today, and kind of use that momentum from those matches to get through those tough ones where I didn't really play great to playing a lot better today, and yeah, I think it's great with the seeding. You know, you can work your way more into the tournament than going out there having to play a top seed early on. So it was a good match today, and I was happier with how I performed. I still got a lot of things I would like to improve, and I got tomorrow to do that.
Tamani.
Monica Guardian. On the court, you said that you were aiming to get it to 2 hours, and then the match began. And I remember you said that at Wimbledon as well, maybe the golfing match.
Yeah.
Just wondering when you and Facu kind of decided on that as a tactic. Obviously, there are players with great stamina, you know, around the tour, but I've never really heard anyone kind of, you know, say that.
Yeah, it was kind of when I talked to Facu this morning about tactics. I told him, look, I think it's big. We get to 2 hours and make the match as physical as we can, and then the match starts from there. And I think it's just went 2 hours, and he kind of dropped his intensity and started playing too aggressive, in my opinion, and was missing a lot. So I feel like I did my job. I got to 2 hours and I was able to. Then the match started and I was able to get it done pretty quickly after that, and I was feeling better and better as the match went on, and I was able to stay very calm, kind of serving for at the end of the first set and the end of the second set, serving that game, that really tough game in that second set, and I think that was the difference today, and then I ran away with the third.
Tom Hamilton, ESPN. Just on that, when you're planning out, say, first 2 hours and so forth, are you looking at how other people are faring at this sort of time of day here in the heat and sort of things to plan out your tactics? And when you're at this stage of a slam now, do you pay attention to what's going on around you, or do you try and kind of create a bubble as such?
No, I think you're always aware of what's going on, who else is playing, and anything, the conditions and how hot is it going to be and everything. And I felt like playing first, typically in New York, it can be pretty hot, pretty humid, and it wasn't too bad today. But for me, I just wanted to do that with, obviously Holger is pretty young, and I've seen him cramp a few times in a couple points when it can be quite hot. So I was like, look, I want to try and make it as physical as I can and make rallies longer and do that, and was able to get to 2 hours and yeah, I thought it was a pretty good match for me.
James, great, newspaper. I wanted to ask you about your next opponent. We don't know who it's going to be yet, but could you maybe just talk a little bit about Dennis and Rublev as well, and what kind of challenges those two pose potentially?
Yeah, they're both great players, a lot of experience, and I feel like at times, they can kind of take the racket out your hand and be very, very aggressive. So for me, regardless of who I play, I think I'm going to have to be very proactive and be the one dictating the point as much as I can. Obviously, there's going to be times where, a lot of times, I'm going to have to defend, but I'm going to have to be aggressive and take it to those guys. And yeah, when they've got time and they're set, they're very dangerous, and they both are very experienced players, and they've gone deep at slams, both of them. So it's going to be a big match for me and a tough one.
Does playing fast have an advantage in that thing of grinding down your opponent and keeping them tired and out of breath, or is it just the way that you enjoy running a match?
Yeah, I don't mind. I'll play whatever speed I mean, I don't mind playing quickly and playing fast. I think as a spectator, I think it's better. You get to watch more. There's less time in between points, and makes it more interesting than watching players go through their routines and go to the tower a lot and waiting a lot to play a lot of points. So I think as a spectator, it's better to play quicker, and it's better for the sport. But for me, I'll play. You have to play the service speed, and I typically on serve I've slowed down a little bit, but I play pretty quickly in general.
Chris?
Yeah, it's Chris Otto with US Open. I wanted to ask you about a player on the other side of the draw, Nick Kyrgios. I just wonder what you've thought about how he's been able to kind of turn around his career in the last 3 months, and how would you characterize what you thought of it? Would you say it's surprising?
For me, I love to see him doing well and being this locked in, and really enjoying his tennis and competing the way he is, and going about his business. It looks like he's really back enjoying his tennis, and he's such a crowd favorite, and I love watching him, and I love watching him play these matches. And yeah, I think it's really interesting for the men's game to have him back, and it's going to be a great match tomorrow with Daniil, and I think obviously with Nick winning last time, it adds a bit more drama to it. So I'm really proud and impressed that he's back playing at the level he is, and he's back giving himself chances to win slams, and he's looking in really good physical condition. So he's obviously been working hard. So for me, I'm friends with him, so I'm really proud to see him enjoying his tennis again and back competing. So it's good to see, and I really like watching his matches in general.
Okay, last question.
Cam, you're such a physically fit bloke, and you like to push yourself against your opponent. But outside of tennis, would you ever consider running a marathon, perhaps, or doing an Ironman triathlon or something? post tennis?
I would maybe like to after tennis. I quite enjoy running, but I haven't been able to do that much. I feel like when I'm resting, I have to chill and relax rather than, I think maybe 3 years ago, my team would be like, all right, rest, and then I'll go the next day and run a little bit, and I feel like now I've been a bit better than with that, and not really going out and running too much. I'm able to kind of rest and maybe do something different, try to play golf or do something like that, then go out and run. But I mean, I don't know, I haven't really thought about it too much, but I'm a decent runner, so it'd be nice to maybe do that maybe when I'm done with tennis. And I still actually, I lost in my fantasy football last year, and I still owe a half marathon, so I still need to do that. I came last in one of my fantasy leagues, so have still owe a half marathon, so need to pick a good time to do that.